Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Don DeFore.
Did you think we weren't coming home?
Well, I was beginning to wonder.
You hungry?
Well, a little bit. And tonight is the night I go bowling with Thorny, you know.
Yes, I know. You're really living it up, aren't you? Next week you're going to the Elks dinner with Dr. Williams?
Oh, how'd you find that out?
Well, that's where I was. I took Ricky over to his office to get him a shot.
Oh? Well, I thought Ricky just had a shot a little while ago.
Oh, this wasn't a booster shot. He didn't feel very good when he came home from school today, so I took him over to see Dr. Williams.
Oh, gee, that's a shame. What did he say?
Well, he thinks he might have picked up some sort of a virus.
Oh, gosh. What makes him so sure it's a virus?
Well, I don't know, but he's got a very nice office and 2 nurses and all the latest magazines to read, so I guess he knows what he's talking about. Oh, he gave David a shot, too.
What for?
Well, just in case Ricky does have something, we want to make sure David doesn't get it. And, of course, if Ricky doesn't have anything, then we won't have to worry about David.
Well, I don't get that.
Well, dear, those new antibiotics are wonderful.
Yeah, they sure are, Pop. Oh, sit down and have a glass of milk, Dave.
Thanks. I think I'd rather stand.
Next time I get a shot, I'm going to get in the arm, boy.
Those antibiotics are a lot of bunk anyway.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Remember last month when I had that bad cold and Dr. Williams gave me a shot of argipenicin? Why, it cured me practically overnight.
Oh, Harry, you'd have gotten well just as fast if you'd taken what I prescribed.
Oh, no, not Gaffney's blood tonic.
Well, what's wrong with it? I've been taking it since I was a boy.
Is that the bottle you usually keep up in the medicine cabinet, Pop?
Mm-hmm, that's the one with the picture on the label.
Yeah.
A shaft of sunlight shining on Abraham Lincoln.
Their motto was, it's good enough for the president, and it's good enough for you.
Did Lincoln take it, Pop?
Yeah, did he, Pop?
Well, I'm not sure he actually took it, but the implication is there. If he wanted to take it, he was welcome to.
That's democracy for you, boy.
Well, it may have a corny label, but it's real medicine. Us kids got sick. That's what our old family doctor used to prescribe for us. He didn't whip out any hypodermic and fill us full of some wonder drugs.
But the modern wonder drugs do the trick, Pop.
Yeah, how come you're resisting progress, Pop?
I'm not resisting progress. I'm just saying that because a thing isn't modern doesn't mean it's no good. Should we destroy the Mona Lisa just because it isn't modern? Should we stop raising sheep just because we have nylon?
Not till they have nylon lamb chops.
It may be old-fashioned, but it works just as well as any fancy antibiotics.
Well, don't get steamed up, dear. You'll catch cold when you go bowling.
And if I catch it, Gaffney's will throw it.
You know, dear, you ought to send that in. That's better than it's good enough for the president and it's good enough for you.
Come in.
Well, come on and get your clothes on. We're due over to the bowling alley in 15 minutes.
Well, Oz, I don't think I can go. I don't feel very good.
You're kidding, aren't you? You look fine.
No, honest, I'm sick.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry to hear that, Barney. Oh, I get it. Tonight's your night to pay for the sandwiches.
Oh, now, that's a real nice thing to say about a friend, implying that I'm a welcher.
Well, what else am I going to think? I come over here and you say you're sick and you look fine.
Oh, Oz, how can you torture a poor sick man this way?
Oh, come on. Thorny, you're not sick and you know it.
Oh, no? Well, here's Dr. Williams right now. Come on in, Doc.
Hi, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello, Doctor.
Hello, Mr. Thornberry.
Hi, Doc.
Saw your boys in my office today.
Oh, yes, I know.
2 fine boys.
Oh, thanks a lot. We think they're pretty good kids.
What's wrong with you, Thorny?
Well, I don't feel so good, Doc. My bones ache, I've got a headache, and I think I have a little temperature.
It must be that virus that's going around. I'll just give you a little shot here.
Just a second, Doctor.
There's something wrong, Mr. Nelson?
Well, what kind of a shot do you figure on giving him?
Oh, I don't know. I'll rummage around in my bag here. I'll find something. Oh, now, there's a pretty color. You like that, Mr. Thornberry?
Yeah, it was fine, Doc.
Roll over on the couch.
Just a second. Doctor, I don't mean to sound rude, but I have a theory about these shots.
Oh?
Now, you take your snap decision to give Thorny a shot in the first place.
Just a minute. Let's be ethical about this. Mr. Thornberry, do you mind if I discuss your case with the eminent surgeon and musician, Dr. Nelson?
Oh, no. Fuck all you want. I'll get my copy to home medical advisor, and I'll be referee.
Fine. Now, Dr. Nelson, what is your theory?
Well, I believe you stated a moment ago that in your opinion, Thorny is suffering from some sort of a virus infection, right?
Well, if you're not satisfied with my diagnosis, I'll tell you what we'll do. Take out his appendix.
No. I'm satisfied with the diagnosis. But this shot you're going to give him, I assume it's an antibiotic?
Yes?
Why are you going to give it to him?
You really want to know?
Yes, I do.
Because a drug salesman stuck me with a whole refrigerator full of the stuff. I got to get rid of it to make room for the Cokes. Go over, Thorny.
Don't do it, Thorny.
But Oz...
Doctor, I'd like to know why you can't prescribe something simple but effective like Gaffney's blood tonic.
Gaffney's blood tonic?
Yes. I hate to cast any aspersions on your professional ability, but when I was a boy, our old family doctor used to prescribe that for a cold regularly.
But, Mr. Nelson, in those days, they knew nothing about antibiotics. It's only recently we've discovered powerful germ-killing antibodies in the soil.
Well, then why did I get well so fast in those days?
Maybe you were just a dirty kid.
Doc, will you give me the shot? I'm in a draft.
Now, just a second, Thorny.
Please, Oz, let the doctor alone. I'm paying for this.
Now, Thorny, don't worry. No matter how long it takes me to give you the shot, it'll only cost you $5.
$5? Thorny, if you'd called me up in time, I could have gotten you a bottle of Gaffney's for $1.98. And you'd get well just as quick, if not quicker. It was my grandmother's favorite remedy. It makes you feel good just like that.
It ought to. You know what's in it?
No, what's in it?
Sassafras root, peppermint, quinine, sugar, and 20% alcohol.
Alcohol?
Yes. I bet your grandmother was a jolly little old lady, wasn't she?
Are you implying that my grandmother took Gaffney's just because it had alcohol in it?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just saying it wasn't the sugar, peppermint, and sassafras that made her feel so good.
I've looked at the label very carefully, and there's no mention of alcohol on it.
Look under Lincoln's beard.
For goodness sakes, Doc, I'm serious about this.
Oh! Doc, you should have warned me.
Well, if you'd have taken Gaffney's, you wouldn't have to worry about things like this.
Well, gentlemen, much as I hate to interrupt this scientific discussion, I think I'd better get back to my office. I have some cigarettes to test.
Doctor, if I can just straighten this out before you go. Then you really think that I shouldn't take Gaffney's in the event I catch a cold?
No, you take it. Take lots of it. But if you do, make sure somebody else does the driving.
Oh, hello, dear. Did you have a good time?
Oh, pretty good.
How'd you bowl tonight?
Well, Harriet, rolling up a big score isn't the important part of bowling. I mean, the object is the companionship and meeting people and the exercise. That's the real object of bowling.
Is it?
Well, it is when you bowl the way I did tonight. However, I did meet a very interesting guy, a friend of Joe Randolph, Charlie Vosberg. Does that name mean anything to you?
No. Should it?
He owns the Vosberg Pharmaceutical Company. We had quite a talk about Gaffney's blood tonic.
What do you have to say about it?
He'd never heard of the stuff. Can you imagine a guy being in the pharmaceutical business and not knowing about Gaffney's blood tonic? It was practically the penicillin of its day.
Well, Dr. Williams didn't seem to think much of it.
Well, that's the trouble with some of these guys. They call themselves modern doctors when actually they're way behind the times.
Oh, I don't know. Dr. Williams gave the boys that shot of argipenicin, and they feel fine now.
No, I have nothing against argipenicin. As if you don't mind being a human pincushion. But I still say they have yet to find anything better than Gaffney's blood tonic for a cold.
Do you feel all right, dear?
Yeah, I feel okay. I just got a little tired tonight. My muscles seem to ache. I think that's why I didn't bowl too well.
Your face looks a little red. You sure you haven't got a fever?
No.
Oh, you're catching cold.
Say, by golly, you may be right.
Well, don't look so happy about it. I think you better stop over to Dr. Williams and get yourself a shot of argipenicin.
Harriet, I don't need that trigger-happy Dr. Williams. Call the drugstore and have him send over a shot of... No, not a shot, but a bottle of Gaffney's. I'll cure this cold the old-fashioned way.
Suit yourself.
I don't imagine Mr. Miller will mind delivering us a bottle.
He'll probably be delighted. He very likely hasn't sold one in 20 years.
Miller's Drugstore.
Oh, hello, Mr. Miller. This is Ozzie Nelson.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Nelson. How are you?
Well, not so good. I seem to be coming down with a cold.
Oh, that's too bad. You better get yourself a shot of argipenicin. Best thing in the world for a cold, you know.
That's a matter of opinion. I called to ask if you'd send me over a bottle of Gaffney's Blood Tonic.
A bottle of what?
Gaffney's Blood Tonic. It's a very famous cold remedy.
How do you spell it?
Gaffney, Gaffney's Blood Tonic. My grandmother always gave it to us for a cold. You must have a bottle on one of your shelves there.
Well, I'll take a look. See, now, that was Grandmother Gaffney's blood.
No, not grandmother. Just Gaffney's, Gaffney's Blood Tonic.
I got you now. Hold the line a minute, Mr. Nelson.
What's the matter, dear?
He's looking for it. Probably has a whole shelf full of bottles, but they're pushing argipenicin this year.
Are you still there, Mr. Nelson?
Yes, Mr. Miller. Did you find it?
Yes, sir. I didn't even know I had any of the darn stuff. I just have this one bottle. It was way back on the shelf behind Dr. Jagger's liver vitalizers.
Would you mind dropping it by on your way home?
Not at all. I'm happy to have a customer for it.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Miller.
How's your liver been feeling lately, Mr. Nelson? You know, Dr. Jagger's got a mighty fine product on it.
I'll be looking for you then, and thanks a lot, Mr. Miller. Bring it right over. Oh, hi. I know this is going to surprise you, Harriet, but I woke up feeling wonderful. His old Gaffney's Blood Tonic really did the trick.
Well, you still don't look too good.
Oh, I feel fine, honestly.
You didn't drink that whole bottle, did you?
Well, of course. I mean, that's the idea, to kill off the cold as soon as possible.
Yes, but not the patient, too.
Are you kidding?
Well, I think you better stay in bed today, just to be on the safe side.
No, I feel fine. In fact, I think I'll get up right now. Where are my shoes, do you know?
Yeah, they're right over there. You want me to get them for you?
No. Thank you.
All right?
Oh, yeah, it's funny. All of a sudden, the room started swinging around.
Yes, well, I think you better get back under the covers.
Maybe I am rushing things just a little bit. I think perhaps that one bottle of Gaffney's wasn't enough.
Look, why don't you let me call Dr. Williams and have him give you a shot of argipenicin?
Oh, Harriet, are you kidding? All I need is another bottle of Gaffney's, and I'll be fit as a poodle. Would you get me another bottle of Gaffney's, please?
Well, I don't think there's another bottle left in the city.
Oh, there must be. Back in New Jersey, all the drugstores used to carry it.
Well, I'm not going to drive all the way back to New Jersey to get it.
Well, no, I'm sure you'll be able to find it someplace. Tell them it's an emergency.
Well, all right. Papa, you asleep? Oh, boys. Did your mother get back yet?
No, not yet. How do you feel, Pop?
Oh, I feel pretty good. I'll be fine as soon as I get another bottle of Gaffney's Blood Tonic.
Why don't you just have Dr. Williams give you a shot of argipelican seeds?
Argipenicin, Ricky.
Yeah, why don't you get some of that stuff, Pop?
I don't need argipenicin. I'm doing fine with the the Gaffney's.
It's not like it's helping you much, Pop.
Heck, no.
Oh, I think maybe that first bottle was stale. Your mother's gone out to get me another bottle.
Hi, boys.
Hi, Mr.
Hi,
Parker.
Oh, hi, Thorny.
See you later, Pop.
Okay, fellas. What are you doing up out of bed, Thorny?
Oh, Oz, I feel much better. Saw Harriet a little while ago, and she said you had a cold, so I thought I'd drop in and see how you are.
Oh, thank you.
Brought you some fruit.
Oh! Where is it?
I ate it on the way over. How you feeling, Oz?
Well, I'm feeling much better now.
Oh, that's good. That argipenicin is wonderful stuff.
Oh, I'm not taking argipenicin. I'm taking Gaffney's.
Gaffney's?
Yes, you know the Gaffney's blood tonic. Best stuff in the world for you.
Wow, Oz. Since when are you supposed to take Moscow mules for a cold?
Oh, are you kidding, Tony? Well, that's a fine old-fashioned remedy.
Oz, you drink this stuff or take a rub down with it?
That's Gaffney's. You know, the stuff I was telling you about last night. It's wonderful. One bottle of it and you feel great just like that.
Yeah? Then why are you still in bed?
Evidently I have a two-bottle cold.
Hi, Thorny.
Hi, Harriet. I just dropped in to see the sick-a-bed boy.
I see you got the Gaffney's.
Yes, I did, and it wasn't easy either. Not many stores carry that stuff. I finally found it in a store all the way downtown. Dr. Wong's Chinese Herbs. He tells me it's not only a blood tonic, but it also makes a very good sauce for mandarin duck.
Okay, you can kid all you want, but I'll guarantee you one more bottle of this stuff, and I'll have this cold licked before you can say argipenicin.
Yeah, but one more bottle of that stuff and you won't be able to say argipenicin. I'll try a shot of this. Over rocks, if you please, Harriet, with a little water on the side.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't like that fever, Mrs. Willoughby, so I'm going to prescribe argipenicin. Yes, would you have your druggist call me? I'll give him the prescription. I'll drop by and see you later. Goodbye.
Still pushing that argipenicin, eh, Doc?
Dr. Pasteur, I'm on. What brings you into the confines of my humble little office?
Well, sit down, Doctor. I have some interesting news for you. I'm afraid I've burst your little antibiotic bubble.
Oh?
Would you care to hear about this?
Oh, yes.
Well, sir, the night before last, I came down with a rather severe cold. However, I did not call you.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness.
Instead, I decided to treat myself with Gaffney's blood tonic.
Really?
You see standing before you a perfectly well man. A living tribute to the efficacy of that grand old elixir, Gaffney's blood tonic.
I see.
Was that all you've got to say, I see?
Well, sir, before I commit myself, I'd like to have a scientific report so I can weigh the facts.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
You mind if I make some notes?
No. In fact, I wish you would.
Thank you. Now, when you first developed the symptoms of this cold, you started taking this Gaffney's, is that right?
Yes, that's right. I phoned the drugstore, and they sent over a large-sized bottle. However, this wasn't sufficient to complete the treatment. So my wife went out and bought another bottle.
I see.
It's my theory the first bottle was stale.
But it was the second bottle that cured you.
Yes, and I stand before you as a living testimonial.
I made a note of that the first time you mentioned it.
Oh, yes. I was just trying to emphasize my point. Now then, would I be expecting too much, Doctor, if I anticipated an apology from you?
No, not at all. I'm real sorry it's going to be so much.
What's going to be so much?
The bill I'm going to send you.
The bill? This is purely a social call.
Oh, I'm not charging for this. Just for the 125 cc's of argipenicin I put in the bottle of Gaffney's blood tonic that Mrs. Nelson brought here yesterday.
What's this?
I wanted to let you suffer, but Harriet insisted.
Well, of all the underhanded tricks.
What are you complaining about? It cured you, didn't it?
Well, not necessarily. It was mixed in with the Gaffney's blood tonic, and it's my contention that the Gaffney's did the trick.
It was the argipenicin that did the trick.
It was the Gaffney's.
Wait a minute. Why didn't I think of this before?
Think of what?
What really cured you was argipenossassafretin.
What's that?
Well, Gaffney's contains sassafras root. And they recently discovered a new chemical in sassafras Well, it's a complicated bit of biochemistry, but what happens is this. The sassafras combines with the argipenocetine to form an even more potent antibiotic, argipenosasafrine.
Argipenosasafrine?
By George, I'm going to see that this is written up in the medical journal. Oh. Dr. Williams? Oh, yes, Joe. Excuse me, drugstore. Oh, Mrs. Willoughby's prescription. Joe, I want you to give her 500,000 units of argipenosasafrine. And dextrose will be all right. Every 3 hours. Right. Well, sir, Brother Nelson, if it hadn't been for you, I never would have thought of this.
How about that? It's amazing. An old-fashioned remedy contains a powerful new chemical.
I guess you amateur physicians sometimes know more than us doctors. I'd appreciate it, though, if you wouldn't mention it before it's written up in the medical journal. Might be kind of embarrassing.
Sure thing. Well, gee, this has been an interesting visit, Doctor. I'll see you probably around the bowling alley.
Okay, and thanks again.
Oh, sure.
Dr. Williams. Bye, Mr. Nelson. Oh, Joe? Yes, I was just going to call you back. Couldn't find any, huh? Well, I guess we'd better give Mrs. Willoughby just plain argipenosetine. What? No, I don't mind telling you. Argipenosasafrine is a sure cure for old-fashioned stubbornness.
Tonight at 8, with only 2 intermissions, Charlton Heston and Henry Fonda lead an all-star cast in the thrilling conclusion of Midway. Tomorrow night at 6, Laverne and Shirley solve capers and crime in a feature-length movie special right here on Channel 5. Now, stay tuned for The Rifleman next.